I thought the way that game started, honestly, was perfect almost. It's like you hope these types of games kind of bring a bit of entertainment early doors. You don't want two big sides, obviously a lot to play for. You don't want it to be a boring stalemate, put it that way. And I think, obviously, early doors, I think Arsenal have a few times caught Liverpool out, and once again, this was the case, brother. And when Arsenal lined up, obviously, with the makeshift back four as well, you're thinking Ben White at centre-back today, Partey at right-back. Could Liverpool exploit that? But they said, hey, let us show you. We might have a little weapon back here. And the pass from Ben White, got to say, perfect. And then Saka, the run as well, perfectly covered. And I think the big question, obviously, before this game was, is he going to play? Is he fit? He showed today, brother. That was all paper talk. That was all, you know them mind games.
Arteta. Is Arteta studying Jersey?
Hey, listen,
is Arteta studying Jersey?
I've seen us do this with Harry Kane like 4 or 5 times before a North London derby where it's, he might be injured, might need an injection. Bro, that boy looked hungry today, and that goal showed it. And I'm sorry, Robertson, you got absolutely put on a skewer. The way he got that's pure P&P. I know sometimes we try and act like that's a bad thing. Bro, the pace, the power, and guess what? That's Robbo's almost like bread and butter. The fact that Saka made him look like that, and I think with Robbo, it's almost like it's happened a couple of times now this year. I think against Madueke, against you guys in the first half as well, was similar. But what a way to kind of start the game and kind of open the floor, do you know what I mean?
But even before that, I think going into this game, a lot of the context was no Saliba, Arsenal have injuries, Arsenal are in a bit of a shaky position, falling back a bit in the league. Shakhtar win wasn't convincing.
Yeah.
We're not seeing Ethan play when he needs to play, we reckon.
I'll be honest with you, I came into this game thinking Liverpool are going to win because I thought Arsenal are coming in almost like a wounded animal, if you like. They're probably going to try and shut up shop. And weirdly enough, it seemed like Liverpool almost like, I don't know, was second-guessing themselves throughout this game. And obviously, Virgil equalised after the first one with a big header, and it was so weird. I was sat here watching it with AGT, and he literally said, I got a feeling Virgil's going to pop up this one. Key header as well. But then it was like, I don't know, I thought Liverpool were just going to come into their own after that and kind of take the game to them. But it just seemed like a chaotic game, I'll be honest with you. Liverpool just couldn't get any control on it. Every time they got on the ball, they seemed like they lacked ideas. There was a lack of movement up front. I thought their left-hand side was very disappointing today with Diaz as well, who started the season so good. And then this was just one of those games where nothing was coming off for him.
No Jota for them as well. I mean, if he's out for a while, looking at this team, you start to then think.
And we all know Jota's the Arsenal killer as well,
But
he's usually always popping up with Arsenal.
This is where my immediate thoughts went to. Number one, I think people need to start putting respect on Bukayo Saka's name. You may not like the way he plays football, whatever, but that boy is a player. That's like 50 Premier League goals now. Like captain's armband today, did what needed to be done, came back in the fold, and suddenly you're thinking, "Wow, Arsenal they've got that grit back again." He is a player, and everyone likes doing this whole comparison game and this player, that player. Come rain or come shine, one thing you can guarantee that Bukayo Saka is gonna do is perform and give you a performance. And for him to start the game off like that, I think that's one of the moments people
tone setters, bro. That's what you look for in leaders in your team. And the fact that he's like taken the captain's armband over the past couple of weeks as well, it's almost like similar like what we were saying about Virgil last season. They've taken on that extra responsibility and they're thriving in it. And it's like, listen, rivalries aside and all of that, bro, you have to give respect where it's due. This type of game and this type of magnitude where this is a title contender, set the tone early on. Robertson's one of the best left backs in the league. Cool, early doors, I'm going to put you on toast and I'm going to nutmeg you as well. And I'm going to slam this near post as well. So that, as you said, that is elite mentality. And bro, turning up in the big games, that's what you look to your big players for. Do you know what I mean?
Speaking of the big players though, like it was like, I go, you go. Like I'm the captain that sets pace. Van Dijk.
That's what I was saying.
No worries.
Captain's getting stroke for stroke, bro. I was like, yeah, man, you gotta do your thing, bro. Get it off. Let's go. We got a game on here. You know what I mean? But do you know what's so crazy though? It was like how at the end of the first half, they put the camera on. Was it Nicholas Jover?
Yeah. And
I was sat here with Alex, and I was just saying, bro, I don't think I've ever seen a set piece coach get as much camera
press.
time.
The thing is,
I cannot name you another set piece coach in the Premier League. But I know Nicholas Jover, or Nicola Jover, whatever his name is. But every time, in every game, whenever there's a set piece coming,
they just pan to him.
And this one, he was stood there chewing his gum. I'm like, bro, why has this guy got main character? They flicked the camera back. Mikel Merino, bang! I said, you know what? Fairs, man.
But do you know some idea? Do you know I find it annoying though, yeah? Because don't get me wrong, yeah.
Who's your set piece coach? Do you know your set piece coach?
Bro, I don't even know who most. I don't know any of our coaches.
I don't know my set piece coach, brother. Liverpool fans, if you could tell me your set piece coach, I would love to know.
No, but bro, because remember last year, yeah, it was Jason Tyndall. Now we got what's his name? Oh, this Arsenal guy. What's his name again?
Nikola Jover.
Nikola Jover. It's like the season before. It's like Pep Linders. It's like there's always like a guy that's trying to pop up and be something. But yeah, I mean, it was quite funny that Liverpool conceded. Liverpool scored a set piece against Set Piece FC. That's like 2 weeks now, back to back.
Getting our lick back, boy. Don't worry.
Exactly. But and then I think a key take that I got from this game as well is this was definitely Slot's most difficult customer he's faced whilst being at Liverpool. Of course, they lost to Nottingham Forest. That game was hard for them to break down, and Forest did what they need to do. And I think we need to speak about Forest. We need to get them flowers because they're killing it. But you could see that this was a difficult game. But also, what I found really interesting was how they kind of started reverting back to old Liverpool style. It was almost like muscle memory that this style that we're trying to do, like bring control and everything, not really working. Need a bit more chaos. Trent, can you come into midfield, please? Robbo, can you start trying to run up and down?
It wasn't working.
Nunes, can you try and find the pocket? And it's like it gave them a bit of like a spark, but it wasn't kicking in.
Shall I tell you why? They glitched. They got the new patch downloaded, the Arna slot package downloaded.
iOS was
and they were trying to still tap into the clock machine. And I was like, bro, everyone's touch looked so shaky. Some of the passes Trent was playing, I'd never seen Trent play so many bad passes. And I was like, what the hell is going on? There was one crossfield pass and it just dribbled across. I said, bro, what the hell is going on with Liverpool? And it was like, you almost felt like the occasion almost got to them at that point. And it's like, but as you said, coming into this game, you were thinking Liverpool are going to take the game to them. But Arsenal, I'll be real with you, they stayed resilient. And they knew when they went 2-1 up, that's the game Arteta low-key wanted. Let me go 2-1 up, and I promise you I'm going to shut up shop, set up 2 banks of 4, get 10 men behind the ball, and I'm going to have Martinelli maybe on the counter. And Liverpool just couldn't break them down. And then Liverpool didn't have enough quality to even go on further. And then the subs they made as well, I didn't feel like they really made much of a difference as well. Cody Gakpo, Szoboszlai, Tsimikas, they all came on about 65th minute. And I was thinking, I don't know, it's similar like in the Spurs game. Your subs are meant to be kind of game changers, impactors. Something. And I just thought Diaz was poor, and then Gakpo, who has been in form as well. Normally when they're rotating, nothing really came off. But Salah eventually coming up with a dagger in the way that he did, I thought he was the only one today that seemed like he wanted to grab the game by the scruff of the neck in the Liverpool side. Everybody else I felt like was just almost passive, shall I say, and waiting for something to happen. And Salah just went, you know what? If you lot ain't going to do it, I'll do it myself, bruv.
I mean, but I think the big thing with both of these teams, you've seen Arsenal this season without Saka and Odegaard. It's like, which one of your attackers is going to do something? You can already see what would happen if Salah's not in the Liverpool team. Like, you've got other players that can have nice moments. Diaz has been great this season, but today, brother, big game, not really seeing it. Gakpo, you're coming on. You want to try and get starts? Not really seeing it. It's still the man for the day.
Do you know what was even more? Do you know what was even more damning of Liverpool as well? Is the fact that I think Gabriel got injured 65th or something like that.
And they didn't capitalise on anything.
I was like, but you saw Liverpool almost like trying to throw the whole house at it, and that's what you're saying. Kind of they reverted back to that Klopp method. But nothing just seemed to be coming up, and I was like, is this where kind of people start to second guess if these guys can win the title in games like that? And don't get it twisted. I think before the game, had you said to Liverpool, would you take a draw at the Emirates and then you can kind of leave? They would have probably said, you know what, maybe we'll take it. But I think the way the kind of game has played out, they'll feel like they could have done more had they been better, if that makes sense. But Arsenal, I don't think will be too disappointed as well walking out with this draw. They'll be annoyed, obviously they dropped points at home, and obviously City are still winning. But I think in terms, the big if you take the context in, the Gabriel dropping out, then Timber as well later on in the game, and we don't know what the reports on those are going to be. They'll kind of be like, you know what, we're glad we didn't just lose the game. But
I think this is where the issue is. I think with Arsenal, in this modern era, the pet era of the Premier League, you know that if you drop a point, it feels like you've dropped millions of points.